This is road safety for you, driving forward for safer roads. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. In the last video I posed a question and I said, is this channel for you? And then we said, well, to find out if this is for you, we'll ask you 5 questions. The 5 questions were on the previous video. I will give you a quick reminder of what the questions were, so I'm going to put them on screen. I'm going to go over the answers, guys, for you. So let's go through these and then we'll find out if this channel's for you. Now, just before I start, if you answered all the questions correctly, you're doing really well. If you had to use Google at all, or you had to ask someone for help, this channel's for you. If you answered all questions correctly yourself, well done. You'll still learn something, I promise. Okay, so the questions will go up and I'm going to go through the questions and give you the answers. So question number 1, we said, what shape is a typical warning sign? What shape is a typical warning sign? The answer is triangle. Triangle. It's actually a red triangle, but if you say triangle, that's fine. The warning sign triangular shape is standardised throughout the world. No matter which country you're going to be driving in, it's to make it easier and make it simpler for everyone to understand. So standardised sign is triangular. Question number 2. What does a yellow traffic signal mean? What does a yellow traffic signal mean? Okay, the simple answer is slow down, be prepared to stop. That's what it means. Slow down, be prepared to stop. Now, if you're approaching an intersection and there's a yellow light and you're right on that intersection, you can go if it's safe to do so. The guidance that I usually give people is, if you're going to try and stop and you need to make an emergency stop in order to stop at the yellow light, that's not safe. It's safer to continue with caution. That's the key factor, with caution. You can continue, but you must do that with caution. So only stop if it's safe to do so. If you've got to perform an emergency stop, that's not safe. It's actually safer to keep going with caution. So hopefully that explains that one for you. We go to question number 3, guys. Question number 3 says, as a driver, what should you do approaching a pedestrian crossing? That's an interesting one. What you should do, and the correct answer is, same as before with the yellow traffic sign. Slow down, be prepared to stop. So, I'll explain that for you. Approaching a pedestrian crossing, who has right of way? Pedestrians. Pedestrians have right of way at a crossing point. We as drivers have to slow down in anticipation someone may be starting to cross. Now, I'm here in the Philippines and the road situations in the Philippines is very busy, very busy. On approaches to some pedestrian crossings, there's parked vehicles either side of the road and it makes visibility very poor. So quite simply, if you cannot see the whole pedestrian crossing, you're going to have to slow down even more or be prepared to stop. So again, it's all about visibility. The more you can see, then the faster you can approach the crossing within the speed limit. If your vision is impaired by parked vehicles or any other obstruction, then you have to slow down even more to keep yourself safe and to keep those pedestrians safe. If you're approaching the crossing, I suggest you look as far ahead as possible. We call it forward planning. Look as far ahead as possible. You can start to work out both sides of the crossing. Is there anybody standing? Is there anybody approaching from either side? If the answer's no, then you can keep going because the crossing's clear and the road is clear. So there's two scenarios there, a restricted view and an unrestricted view. Restricted view, slow down, be prepared to stop. Unrestricted view, you can keep going with caution. Okay, so hopefully that's explained a pedestrian crossing for you for question number 3. So the correct answer was again, slow down, be prepared to stop. Question number 4, it says, why is it important to keep both hands on the steering wheel or handlebars at all times? Why is it important? Simple answer to that is because it's safer. It's safer because you're in more control of the vehicle. I'm just going to put these sheets down and I'm going to demonstrate for you. So if you're driving a vehicle, could be a car, could be a truck, could be a bus, whatever. If you're driving a vehicle, you've got a steering wheel. If something happens right in front of your vehicle and you've got to take action, this is what you can do. You can do very quick, controlled steering. That's going to try and get you out of danger and try to save a collision. If you've only got one hand on that steering wheel, like this, and something happens immediately in front of you, could be a child walking out, could be a car coming out, and you have to take avoiding action. This is all you've got. This is all you can do. And your arm is restricted to get more steering because your elbow is going to hit in here. You're sitting down, remember, so it's even worse. I'm standing, so it's slightly easier. But that's all you've got compared with that. And my head isn't even moving. And I can go from full lock to full lock in a second. That's how quickly it can happen, and that can be the difference between saving a life or taking your life. It's your choice, guys. 2 hands on the wheel, much safer. 2 hands on the handlebars, if it's a motorcycle, it's exactly the same thing. If I'm riding a motorbike and something happens in front of me, I can do that. I can get out of danger. But if I've only got one hand on that handlebar and then something happens in front of the motorcycle, I do that. I'm actually going to transfer all my weight trying to use one hand. On a motorcycle, that's bad news because all the weight goes to one side and then you're going to try and correct that and the bike starts to wobble. You're going to fall down because you cannot control it with one hand. 2 hands, all about balance. On a motorcycle, 2 hands, you're balanced. You do that, your body's not moving. So the balance is still on the motorcycle. That, you can see my body moving. That's going to cause you to unbalance the motorcycle. You're going to fall down. So hopefully that explains number 4. So the correct answer to that was, it's safer. It's safer to use 2 hands. Let's move on to the last one then, question number 5. And it says, what does understeer mean? So what does the term understeer actually mean? Understeer refers to obviously the steering in the car. So the easiest way to describe understeer for you is if you're in a car and you turn your steering wheel that way and you want the car to go that way, understeer means the car continues to go in a straight line for a few moments before the steering starts to take effect. So your wheels are turned, but the car kind of goes straight on a bit before the steering starts to take effect. We call that understeer because you're steering the car, but it's going straight on for a second before turning. The danger with that is you're going to take the corner much wider than what you thought or planned. You're probably going to be driving on the wrong side of the road as you're trying to turn, and you've got understeer. Now, there's many things, many causes of understeer. Basically, driver or vehicle. You can clarify into two sections there. It's driver or vehicle who's at fault. Driver could be tiredness, could be alcohol affecting the driving, drugs. There's many things that can affect a driver's awareness of what he's doing. The vehicle could be the tyres. Maybe the tyres are not fit for the road. Maybe the tyres have the wrong tyre pressures imbalanced. So one soft, one hard. That's going to create what we call understeer. So the car's going to go much wider into the corner, and it's exactly the same for a motorcycle. A motorcycle can experience understeer at the exactly same circumstances. The rider turns the handlebars, the brake slides slightly before the grip takes effect. That's understeer. Effectively, the car is understeering into the corner. Now, in a future video, guys, I'm going to be going over understeer and oversteer, which is the opposite, oversteer. Not going to explain it just now. I will go into that in much more detail in a future video, so watch out for that one. It will be very interesting. Understeer and oversteer, there's a bit of racing involved with that. People use these techniques for racing cars. Now, I did not explain who I was at the very start in the last video, and I said I was going to tell you more about myself, who I am, what I do. So, my name is James. I live here in the Philippines with my wife, Vilma. Originally, I come from the UK. I was a driver for over 40 years of all different sizes of vehicles. I was a Grade A driving instructor in the UK. Grade A is the highest level in the UK. Cannot get higher than that. Very few people achieve that level, but I was fortunate, lucky enough to be a Grade A instructor in the UK. I also was a crash investigator, a private crash investigator, so people could hire me to investigate maybe an accident they were involved in, or companies would hire me in to investigate maybe an accident their vehicle was involved in. So I've done that for a few years as well in the UK, and my background for me, apart from all my work, I was actually a racing driver in the UK, a successful racing driver. I did that from 2009 right up till 2019. I won 3 Scottish championships, and behind me here you can just see these are some of the trophies we actually won with car racing. I was a race instructor as well, so I have vast experience from driving, from instruction to crash investigation. Crash investigation, people think that the investigator is just there to find fault, who's to blame. That's not the case. That's not the case at all. The crash investigator is actually there to establish probable cause and prevention. That's most important, the prevention part. If an accident happens, let's find out what the circumstances are. Can this be prevented again from happening? So that's what an investigator goes in to do. In future videos, guys, I'm going to be posting up real footage of accidents happening on the roads from all over the world. We will go through these together, and I'm going to break the videos down for you, and I'll tell you from an investigator's point of view what I'm looking at, what I can see, and you can watch it, then you can tell me if you agree, disagree, tell me what you see, because I welcome any comments that you have. Just put them on the bottom. Any suggestions as well, put them on the bottom. Subjects you want me to cover, I'll have a look at it for you. So I want this channel to be about us, not about me. Okay, I'm just the guy with the experience, and I'm the guy standing in front of the camera, but this is your channel, so get involved, guys. Get involved. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you want me to cover for you, and we'll do that together. So that's to come in the future, guys. Okay, so if you did well with the quiz, well done you. If you didn't do so well, don't worry. That's why we're here. That's why we're here. We're going to go over these things together, and we're going to learn what that means for everybody. The more you learn, the safer you become. So we are going to try and make everyone a little bit safer on the roads, no matter what you're driving, because it's not about what you drive, it's about how you drive. Okay, I'll see you again next time. Just before I go, please like, subscribe, share this channel. Let's all grow together. Okay, so please like, subscribe and share, and if you subscribe you will get a notification at when my next video is going to go live, so you won't miss anything. Okay guys, thanks again, and I'll see you soon. Bye from James.